Hello, welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. Woo! We practiced using wet on wet, and then we practiced layering. And I thought today we would do some wet on dry and practice a little bit of brush control. So, being a kindergarten teacher, many of the children love rainbows. And I thought, well, rainbows are kind of a perfect opportunity to practice brush control. Okay, so now that the clock has stopped chiming, now your rainbow could have any colors. Our purpose today is to practice using some dry paper, wet paint, and then using some brush control. So we're just gonna get started. I will probably do Roy G. Biv again because I tend to do that. But you could rainbow with some muted colors or do some pastel colors. You choose the colors you want. I've got a 5x7 piece of paper and I'm not going to draw it out. So we just don't know how wonky this is going to get. We'll see. But I'm going to start here in the middle and do my first arch. And so I'm just going to sort of visualize where that's going to be. And I'm going to practice using my brush at different angles too. So we've got some brush control and wet on dry. Red paint on a wet brush. Here we go. I love how you can see the paint sort of work its way out and it gets lighter as you go around. Okay, so there's our first layer. Now I'm gonna go back to yellow. Nope, I'm gonna go to orange because that's the correct part of Roy G. Biv. You would think, all these years in kindergarten and with my own children, I would know. Okay, I'm gonna start next to it. I'm not gonna try to touch it, but if it touches, it's okay. All right, push down, press, and pull around. You can see it got a little wonky over here. That's okay. You can kind of fill in the edges if you want, if that's important to you. All right, I'm gonna clean my brush off. Now I'm gonna go to yellow. Put a good amount of paint on my brush. Got a good amount of water in there, and I'm gonna start again on that side. So I'm gonna start down, I'm gonna press down and pull my brush slowly around. And you see how that gets, how we start to lose paint as we go? It's kind of cool. I like the effect, but I'm gonna go ahead and take my brush and smooth out some of that color. Just like that. And that's also good practice for brush control. And these are kind of getting close together, but they're not mixing too much. It might mix a little bit because they're wet, but because the paper is dry, it will kind of keep it from blending. I'm gonna go to our green here that's kind of bluish. I'm gonna start there, add a little more paint. Press down, pull around. Look how vibrant that color is. I'm gonna go back and just try to even out some of that color. And if you don't want those scratchies, add a little bit of water to your brush, not as much, and a little bit of color, and just, ooh, look at that. Fill it in. I don't think I had quite as much water on my brush that time around. But then I kind of also mixed into the yellow. Again, that's okay. The purpose of this is to make something colorful and to practice our brush control. But I don't want that drip right there. Okay. Now we're gonna go on to blue. I think I wanna do my Prussian blue. That's one of my newer colors, and we'll see how it looks. A little bit extra water, some pigment. I'm gonna press and pull. See if I've got a little bit extra on that side. And pull the rest of the color through. Nice and vibrant. I like that Prussian blue. It's also taking more color, more pigment, more water to get all the way around because our strokes are getting longer. All right, now we'll move on to purple. A little extra water. Here we go. Press and pull. Even the stroke out. These colors are turning out really nicely. And our violet, which we're technically is, I could go crimson, but this is the magenta. That's the one I want. All right, press. And I'm running out of paper, so it's gonna blend in with that purple pretty well. And a little more. And press all the way down until I'm gonna get it all the way down. Excellent, and that really blended, but the purple and violet are so close together, it's not a big difference. All right, so today we practiced brush control using wet on dry paper with a lot of pigment and a lot of water in our brush. You can make a traditional rainbow, you can do any colors you want, you could make a rainbow straight up and down. You wouldn't even have to make the arch. But the arch helps you practice using your hand with your brush in different angles, and that's good practice. So I hope you give this a try. Put it in the comments. If you can put a picture in there, put a picture of what you did today, and keep painting.